The first room can be used for the teachers, the students, and the general public attending this event. But the second room, as I said, it's available for the questions from the journalists. And if you want, you can specify your name too. And for journalists, the name of the magazine or the newspaper, and to whom specifically you want to address the question to. Now, we are very pleased to present you to two very special hosts. One is Vladimir Ryabinin, oceanographer and the Executive Secretary of IOC UNESCO, and Lorenzo Bertelli, Head of Corporate Social Responsibility of Prada Group. Please come to the stage. Vladimir, the floor is yours.
So this was really, really impressive, you know. And when I looked at this, I was thinking actually of Oscar. You know, it looks to me similar. There is a lot of charm also in all people here, and the inner beauty as well. And that is what is so special for the Prada Group, bringing this charm and connecting people. So with that, I think it is my great honor also to be part of this award ceremony for the second edition of Sea Beyond. And the first Sea Beyond was remarkable, and all good things need to grow. And we have now new schools. We had 8 schools, now we have 10 schools from Brazil, Peru, and this will grow. I'm pretty sure about this. You know, it is you. You know, yesterday I had to open one reception, and there was an early career ocean professional speaking there. I had to apologize to her, because we are bringing to you the world that you need to improve. And I'm pretty sure that you will. With the help of all friends, we are developing science. But you know, we need to bridge it to all people. And Prada is really helping us to make it all happen. And this has to start from the school, because, you know, we can only, if we speak about the ocean, we need to protect it. We can only protect what we love, and we can only love what we know. And that's exactly how and when this thing should start. It should start in the school. And amazing participants will get their well-deserved awards, and we will move forward with that even further. Once again, thank you, Prada Group. You know, as I tend to say, you know, we start very often as partners, we always finish as friends. And with that, I would like to thank you again on behalf of IOC of UNESCO. I wish you a fantastic success for your enterprise, contribution to the decade of ocean science for sustainable development. And it's my honor and a great pleasure now give the floor to our dear friend, Lorenzo Bertelli, who is the head of the social responsibility in the Prada Group. Lorenzo, thank you.
So good morning to everybody, and thank you, Vladimir, thank you, Patricia. And first of all, for me, finally, it's a pleasure to be here in person. We had last year event not in person, unfortunately, but I would say was the occasion to see in real the people. Unfortunately, not everybody is here, so I want to say a big hello to all the students and school connected from around the world. And so I think this is a really great occasion. So ciao to everybody. Yes. So I want also to thank you, our UNESCO friends, for hosting us in the official ocean calendar. I think it's a great occasion to show how, let's say, institutions and private companies can work together. And also, I want to thank you also, all the students, for the passion they put in those projects. And I mean, you will have the occasion to see all the project, and they put so much passion in it. So thank you to all the students, all the professors for their support and their participation to this project. I think like in the last 2 years, so in 21-22, we participated to this, let's say, training cycle that was dedicated to the ocean decades. And we have 10 years now ahead of us where we have to transform the ocean that we have today in the ocean that we want. And I think it's fundamental that, again, institution, private company, friends, student, all the parts that are, let's say, all the people that are part of this social environment work together and closely to reach those goals. Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts for a more sustainable future, and so we really need to work all together on every single details. It's fundamental that to achieve the objective of the decades dedicated to the oceans, that we work on the culture. If we want to change the world that is going to be in the next 10 or 20 years, we need to work with the mind and the soul of the future generation. And so this is why we believe that working with their culture and work with all the literacy around the ocean and to explain to the new generation why it's so important is going to be the key for the success of the future. This year also we decided not just to, let's say, award the winner, but we decided to award 3 schools. And so this is going to be something also different, but for me it's also very important because there is not just one winner. Everybody is a winner. Every student is a winner. Every school is a winner, for sure. And this is why we want to, let's say, give those prizes to 3 schools. So, and last but not least, I want to thank you all the juries and the Sea Beyonders that participated in this project, because with them we really, I think, create a very nice community, and I think this is the most important thing. We are just at the beginning of this journey, but I think that us with Sea Beyond, working with an institution like UNESCO, we are proving that there is a lot of potential in this. So it's the 2nd year, this project will go ahead, and we want to show also to the world outside that this is the right path, and we need to work with the future generation. So thank you to everybody, and I leave over to Patricia for the rest. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for your words, Lorenzo, and you too, Vladimir. Thanks a lot. Unfortunately, our dear Vladimir must leave to attend another event. Therefore, we welcome here Ana Luisa Thompson Flores, Director of the UNESCO Regional Bureau for Science and Culture in Europe. And I also invite here other CBeyond jury members to the stage. So, also now, Kerstin Forsberg and Hugo Val. Please join me. Thank you, Vladimir. Kerstin is arriving. But before, I want to tell you that the sea plays a fundamental role in each of their lives. They all believe that we must invest in the new generation's education. Only in this way we'll be able to protect the ocean's health and thus our entire blue planet. Now I want to introduce you to Kerstin Forsberg. She's a marine scientist and the founder of the Peruvian NGO Planeta Oceano. Since a very early age, Kerstin had spent a lot of time at the beach with her parents, feeling very connected to the ocean. And she had the sensation that she could do something to save not only the ocean, but also our whole planet. That's why at 8 years old, she has already coordinated an animal protection club at her school. But when she discovered Sylvia Earle and felt extremely inspired by her wisdom, passion, and energy, then after reading Sylvia's book, The World is Blue, How Our Fate and the Oceans Are One, she got further immersed in marine conservation. And that's why she founded the NGO Planeta Oceano. She had already founded it, but with Sylvia Earle's inspiration, she said, my God, this is the way. Then she started to save the sea turtles and giant manta rays. But although her projects are science-focused, her personal connection to the ocean goes far beyond science, opening up to multidisciplinary fields, allow her to work with different coastal communities and to develop real and intense bonds with all the people who want to protect the ocean with her. Now I want to make her a question after our long interview. So, Kerstin, you told me that you believe that ocean literacy is a powerful vehicle to invite people to take action towards ocean sustainability, inside and outside schools, with formal and informal education. So, do you think that those who have the chance to participate at innovative and disruptive projects at CBeyond could become also knowledge multipliers and, in turn, inspire and engage other children and communities as if they were spokespeople for the ocean?
Thank you, Patricia. Can you hear me? Is the audio okay?
Can you listen to Kerstin?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Patricia, and I completely agree with what you mentioned. For me, youth, and I always say this, youth are not the change makers of the future. Youth are the change makers of the present. And what we need to do as a society is give youth, and I'm talking about, school kids, I'm talking about every single youth out there, the capacity, the platform, the skills in order to create that change. Because their energy is there, their interest is there. You mentioned this school club when I was 8 years old. And it was through the support of my teachers that helped me, drive this idea. And then I went on to study biology, and I actually founded my organization when I was a 22-year-old, young woman, still student, still undergraduate. And since there, our organization has grown. As you mentioned, we've been focusing on research and on education, on sustainable development, bringing together companies, working on the science to policy, researching giant manta rays in Peru for the first time, or researching critically endangered sawfish and leading legislation into that. And all of that started with this 22-year-old just wanting to create change, right? And within the work that we do, we bring youth in. So all of the work that we've done together with youth, with early career professionals that come in as volunteers and then guide themselves into careers. It's really about opening those doors. I think that youth have the potential. If we would give youth the potential to create more change, our world would be completely different. So yeah, let's start doing that.
Wow, I would say they're inspiring. Kirsten. Thank you so much. And now I'm coming here to present you the Portuguese surfer Hugo Val. When he was 3 or 4 years old, he could spend hours and hours with his parents, floating in the ocean on a kind of air mattress, looking for fishes in a crystal and pristine water. Before laying down in the sand, feeling the smell of the ocean that he considers as one of his best friends, and not just a thing. Then he got in touch with the Silver Surfer, who was always surfing cosmic waves of energy. And it inspired him to surf imaginary waves as well. Then he decided to surf real waves. He didn't look for surfing big waves at the first moment. It was a natural consequence of a deep need. Because to feel more connected to the ocean, far away from the competition spirit that is very common when many people are fighting to surf the smaller waves altogether. So, bigger waves, less people. And people with a different attitude, he told me, less competitive and more collaborative. Hugo feels like a child when playing with the ocean, living the present moment, reading every single bump of the waves, being part of the ocean and the ocean itself. And because of his strong connection, the ocean invited him to surf the bigger wave of the world, the 35 meters Big Mama at Nazaré, here in Portugal. And he waited 7 years for this 20-second unforgettable magic moment. And now, after this gift, he feels he has a mission. So I will ask him something. Hugo, we would like to know more about this mission you have. Which are your plans to connect more and more people to the ocean, fighting for ocean conservation, for the health of the ocean, as a spokesperson for the ocean? Which are the messages you want to spread worldwide and the concrete actions you want to realize?
Hi, Patricia. My mission is just to share the passion and the love for the oceans. Like Vladimir said, who loves cares, and as soon as you start to enjoy the energy and to feel the energy of the ocean in your body and in your mind, the game changes. So the mission is to connect emotionally the young generations of students and fishermen as well, and to connect them to the ocean, not just in the surface while surfing, but building even a deeper relationship with the ocean, with scuba diving and snorkeling, like promoting the happiness like while surfing a wave, and then know what's below, the beauty of everything that we can enjoy and connect like underwater. That will be the game changer, because I've seen in first person the happiness in the eyes of the children when they get out of the water and they surf away for the first time. They become surfers. They start to love the ocean unconditionally. And they become like organic guardians and lifetime guardians of the ocean. And I would like to say, as Lorenzo said, and very well, all the Sea Beyonders are winners. And more than winners, the Sea Beyonders are our inspiration, our biggest motivation to fight for a brighter future, for healthier oceans, and most than all, the Sea Beyonders are our biggest hope. So thank you to all of you.
How not to be inspired by these people. And there's another person, another jury member of See Beyond. We wanted so much to be here, but he couldn't come. So I will tell you things that he told me and the messages he wanted to bring to you. And he's the Italian photographer, Enzo Baracco. Yeah, and so as I told you, he shared with me his thoughts about the ocean. And he told me his personal story and how connected he is to the sea. He said, when I was 3 or 4 years old, have you seen everything seems to start when they are 3 or 4 or 5 years old? So while jumping in the sea water, I crossed through 2 worlds in a split of a second and found such a pleasure that the ocean became my life, my font of inspiration, my best friend. And now I would like to give back to the ocean what it gave to me. These are his words. Enzo was before a fashion photographer, but through his work now as a conservationist photographer, he wants to sensitize, to engage, to educate people. And after discovering the Anglo-Irish Antarctic explorer Ernest Shackleton, the major font of inspiration to make possible the impossible, he decided to experience and to photograph Antarctica. You can see now some of his photos, and they are part of a book that is called The Noise of Ice, Antarctica. Enzo's work is a gate for discovering remote places in the world, to raise awareness about the beauty and the fragility of the ocean, witnessing its changes in such difficult times. Enzo has already received an Emmy nomination for his current project. It's called The Skin of the Rock, Galapagos, which has been carried out in collaboration with Prada Group and with IOC UNESCO and other just a moment. Things happened. I want to read it to you. Just a moment. Technology helps us so much, but sometimes we become... Maybe I'll ask someone to help me, Rebecca. It happens always. And then I'll continue to read to you about Enzo, about his deep connection to the sea. There we go. Thank you so much. So I was talking about his current project, The Skin of the Rock, Galapagos, as I told you, that has been carried out in collaboration with Prada Group, IOC UNESCO, and other international companies and governments. He wants to show people that Galapagos is a great ambassador to communicate what the ocean is, how it is connected to our lives in all levels, how it teaches us about resilience, about adaptation, how it offers us so much without asking anything back. He wants to inspire you to think about your own relationship with the ocean. And that's what ocean literacy is about. So when I was interviewing Enzo, I asked him how ocean literacy can be a vehicle to inspire and engage people all over the world, and how can an artist can collaborate with this mission. And this is his answer. I will read it to you now. So he said, I really believe education is a fundamental vehicle to make this social change we need for our planet. Ocean literacy is important to engage the youth with the wonders of the ocean. But at the same time, it's important for all of us. It is so inspiring and refreshing to see their effort and their enthusiasm to engage in creative activities for our ocean. I really believe that their desire to protect our ocean makes us reflect, make us protect our future and their future. What the ocean faces now impacts all of us. I really believe everyone has a duty to do something for our ocean. with its own capacities and skills. Art doesn't have barriers or flags, so it is an important tool to bring a new vision to that topic in order to create a new dialogue and a new access to the natural world. Photography doesn't need translation. This is my contribution to that cause. Lorenzo's word, Enzo's word. And now, I would love to invite Ana Luisa Thompson Flores to announce the third prize winner. Anna, it's your time. Of course. The floor is yours.
Well, bon dia, good morning. It is with great pride that I announce the third prize, and that's the Liceo Marcelline Tomaseo of Milan, Italy. And the student that is representing all his fellow colleagues who worked on the project is Federico Arborio Mella.
Our school to take part in this project. We started working in January, and it was a good occasion to discover important topics about the ocean world. We developed this video game on different levels with the aim to offer some videos to discover the ocean world. At the end of each level, players tested their skills and they had to restart the exploring phase in case of mistakes. Building the video game was a great hands-on experience to enrich our knowledge on the environment sustainability through team building activities driven by the competencies of our Professor Scapini. Thank you very, very much.
Se posso, un attimo, can I speak? Can I still speak? Thank you.
Yes.
Uno, congratulazione. Siete stati bravissimi, so thank you very much. Two, I would also and cannot leave the stage without expressing appreciation for the teacher that supports and enriches the lives of her students. So, Emanuela Scapini, congratulazione e veramente un grandissimo augurio di un proficuo continuamento della sua carriera di insegnante.
Thank you very much. I have to deeply thank you for the wonderful opportunity you gave us. It was an honor to be involved. Marcelline was one of the first schools in Italy to focus on sustainability by including the Agenda 2030 aims in regular lesson plans. I'm really proud of my classroom. They seriously took out of this project everything they could learn and comprehend. They are interested in creating a better world to live in by studying and spreading such an important message as far as they are able to. We talked about the best way to reach the youngest in the modern interconnected world, so the idea of constructing the sustainability video game started this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We know you're not here in presence, but somehow you are. Thank you for your words. And I would like to thank a lot too for Anna, for Kerstin, and for Ugo. And I kindly ask you now to leave the stage because I will invite the second round of jury members to join me. Thank you. So, please welcome here Valentina Gottlieb, Lorenzo Bertelli, and Fabien Cousteau. Fabien Cousteau is an aquanaut, an oceanographic explorer, an environmental advocate, and founder of Proteus Ocean Group. And I will say something more about Fabien. Can you imagine that he started to scuba dive at 4 years old with a personal equipment especially constructed by his grandfather, Jacques Cousteau, 4 years old scuba diving. And he still remembers his sensations of being at the beach with 2 or 3 years old, feeling the sand in his tools, between his tools, listening to the sound of the seagulls with the joy of having the sun in his face while the waves were crashing in front of him. That's why the ocean gives him the sensation of belonging, as if it were a kind of womb. Yes, he had to become an aquanaut and an ocean conservationist. And more than that, an adventurer, an explorer, someone who went through many trails. His life is a pure sea odyssey. That's why he feels so inspired and identified with Ulysses from the Greek mythology. Fabian knows that the ocean is our life support system. It's our universal connector, the planet's circulatory system that connects us all. He respects the ocean so much that he doesn't use the expression sea resources, but sea life, for example. He knows that we are part of the ocean and that the ocean is part of us. He says that his heart is one with the ocean. That's why he's a fantastic storyteller too. Being invited to talk in different stages of the whole world, because he speaks with his heart and he touches the audience's heart. That's why I did him a specific question. Fabian, nowadays, especially after the pandemic, different social media has acquired a bigger role for all of us to communicate around the world. We know the importance that all these media have to raise our voices towards ocean conservation and inviting people to change behavior, to take action. But what about the importance of experiencing the ocean directly? About keeping face-to-face events like this one we are having here now, to communicate on a deeper level, to directly transmit our personal and concrete experiences related to ocean conservation, to ocean literacy, and ocean sustainability. What can you tell us about that from your heart?
From the depths of the ocean.
Yeah.
Bonjour Patricia, bonjour everyone. It's a big question. I would say that social media or being able to communicate with the world is an important tool for inspiration. It's one that, if used properly, can be a very powerful tool. But because we're human beings, we are experiential creatures. We are creatures of tactile nature, of visual nature. And as such, there's no substitute for being out in the field and having a personal relationship, a personal feeling of the subject matter. So I highly encourage young people and young at heart to have an adventure for themselves, something that hopefully brings them out of their comfort zone, that gives them a sense of confusion, of uncertainty, of infusion with a new appreciation for other cultures, other ways of thinking, and other experiences that they've never had before, whether it's in the district next to them or 1,000 kilometers away. Having these experiences expands the minds, it expands our understanding of our connection with the world and our appreciation for how precious life is and how unique and how blessed we are to live in a place that is the only oasis in space that we know of, that contains virtually all life that we've ever imagined and experienced. And during our life's journey, we have to remember that this is our natural resource bank account. It is the reason why we exist. It's the circulatory system that makes us possible. And so, if we are to imagine a better future for our children, if we are to imagine being better parents to our children, and to give back to our future generations what we've taken for granted, we have to have a much more symbiotic relationship with our life support system. And it starts with very simple things like changing our language, going from talking about sea food to describing it as sea life. Because these seemingly simple actions that cost nothing are fundamental to our thought process and to our understanding and appreciation for the fact that in order for us to have a viable future and a bright future, we must care for the ocean and the sentient beings that we share this planet with in a way that respects them, in a way that makes us feel like we're connected. And as much as I'm a big proponent of space exploration, let's not forget that inner space is here, right here on this planet, waiting for us to discover it. We've explored less than 5% of our ocean world to date. And yes, there are a lot of problems out there. But I believe in the youth, more so than ever, this generation, because they have the knowledge, the power, and the means to communicate with each other and to do something, to go out there and make change happen. And us as adults, as the older generations, we have a responsibility to shepherd them and to make it possible for them to benefit from their actions, their positive actions. And so with this platform like Sea Beyond, this is so inspirational to see all the creativity that's happening. I wish we could give awards to everybody, because the most important thing is that engagement, that sense of curiosity, and that sense of innovation that will help us, guide us into a better, more beautiful tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Fabian. And now we have here a very dear person. I want to present you to Valentina Gottlieb. She's an Italian actress and an environmental advocate. At the age of 5, maybe 6 years old, she started to go every summer to a very wild beach in Sardinia Island with her mother, where she developed a very strong relationship with the ocean. Then she started to sail, to scuba dive, to practice kite surfing and windsurfing. And that's why, talking about windsurfing, she was so inspired by the Italian windsurfer, Alessandra Sensini, a 4-time Olympian who won many gold, silver, and bronze medals. So the sea was calling Valentina, even when she was inland, for example, in the city. So she started to look for jobs close to the sea, where she could continue to practice different aquatic sports. If you look for Valentina in the web, you will find different information about her work as a dancer, as an actress, and a very famous actress from a famous TV show, yes, in Italy, that is called Il Collegio. You will find a lot. She's very popular there. And because of her deep love for the ocean and her popularity, she decided to become a spokesperson for the ocean, sharing in her social media important information to raise awareness regarding ocean sustainability. As a digital influencer too, she can influence all of her followers. So it is not by chance that she became the protagonist of Prada's virtual reality campaign about Posidonian regeneration. Valentina, in our interview, you told me that your mother influenced you a lot influenced your feelings towards the ocean. You started to love the sounds and smells of the sea. Camping in front of its waters, in wild beaches, I remember you told me that, with her mother, for example. So now, which tips could you give to the parents of our Sea Beyond students so that they could love the sea more and more as it happened with you? We know that who loves cares. And Fabian knows that very well because his grandfather used to say it always. So Valentina, tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Patricia, first of all, for your presentation and your words and your question. First, I want to say that I'm really honored for being here with you all, with so many good-hearted people driven by the same, objective and aim. And I also want to express how proud I am of all the job that all the students who participated to the Sea Beyond project have made. Because really, I'm a parent, I'm a mother of two, as you were saying, and it's been really touching to see how strong and powerful the youngest can be when it comes to communicate something in which they truly believe and contents that they consider relevant and valuable. So it's been inspiring watching all your projects, and it left me especially with a good sense of hope for the future. And it's been also beautiful to see finally the youth involved not just in the talking, but in expressing themselves and doing something. So thank you, and thank all the people who developed this project, this beautiful project as Sea Beyond. Going back to your question, you remembered well, yes. My mother used to take me to Sardinia. She looked for the wildest area along the coast of Sardinia where we could be basically alone. We moved with this small tent, and the aim was to find the spot to set the tent as close to the sea as possible. Why? Because we wanted to feel, to my mother, it was important to feel the sea in all its power, to smell the salty air, to lie down on the sand with nothing, no towel, no chair. We didn't have anything but the necessary, the strictly necessary. The sea had to be the first thing that we would see in the morning when waking up. And we had to hear the sound of the sea along the whole night. So I'm really thankful to my mom because, I think it was a great gift because it built the basis of, let's say, a real connection to nature, which then I nourished and I developed during the year by starting practicing different sports. And I think it built the basis for a long life, relationship and dialogue. So my suggestion to parents today, and don't take me wrong, but I think it could be stop talking to kids about the ocean, or stop just talking to kids about the ocean, but take them and introduce them to the ocean. Let them meet the ocean and let them start their own dialogue with it. I think this is the only way. And of course, it's important while sharing knowledge and while sharing information about the extremely dangerous situation in which our blue planet is, it's vital for them to leave the ocean directly. And it's also important not to do it just by talking again, but by example. Our kids take our example and make it a lifestyle. So it's important to participate in this sharing of information and experience. And also, I think we have a very important tool that we can use, which is sport. So we have from one side information to the other one is sport, declined in all its ways. We do not have to be Olympics. We don't all have to be, athletes or winners. It doesn't matter which sport. It doesn't matter at what age. But I think that sport allows us to open a channel and of communication, with the ocean, and allows us the ocean to teach us important things such as understanding when being humble and recognize our own limits and respect then the power of nature and take a step back, or when being brave and overcome our fears, when both by taking actions and practicing sports, but also by standing out and talking and doing something for our planet. I mean, it's both ways. The ocean can really teach us a lot, but this is my suggestion. So open the dialogue by talking, but by acting, and do it through experience and through example.
Thank you so much, Valentina. I want you to stay here, but there's another person I want to welcome to the stage. So now we have the pleasure to introduce Carmelo Isgro, director of MUMA, what means Museum of the Sea of Milazzo in Italy. Carmelo, where are you? Please join us here. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Thanks. Okay. 5 years ago, on June 2017, a sperm whale washed up on the coast of my city. He had died due to an illegal fishing net that was entangled in his tail. I looked at him, motionless and lifeless, for hours. Then he spoke to me. Looking into his glassy eyes, I realized that he was asking for my help. He didn't want his story to be forgotten. He needed me to give him a second life and a voice to tell everyone how he died, so as to prevent other sperm whales die in the same way. So, I went into the water and stripped alone more than 10 tons of meat. When I opened his stomach, I was shocked because I found so much plastic. I recovered the bones, cleaned them, and then I reconstructed the skeleton. I repositioned the net that killed him in the tail and attached the plastic that I found in his stomach. The sperm whale is suspended in the air by cables. The day after the recovery, one of my best friends who had helped me in the operations, Francesco, was tragically killed in an accident on his scooter. So I decided to name the sperm whale Siso the nickname of Francesco, Siso. I mounted the skeleton of the sperm whale inside the consecrated church of the 16th century in the ancient castle of Milazzo, the greatest historical monument and also the major tourist attraction of my city. The MUMA Milazzo Sea Museum was built around him, around the sperm whale, to raise awareness on the problems caused by anthropogenic impacts. Thanks to the help of more than 1,000 volunteers, the sperm whale Siso is alive again. Visitors and kids hear his story and then spread the word. Siso is a symbol of environmental protection. This is the castle of Milazzo. Now, thanks to a project, Let's Digitalize MUMA, in a partnership with the IOC UNESCO with the support of Prada Group, it's possible to take a virtual tour of the museum from anywhere on the planet. With a computer, with an Oculus, how you can see there Francesca is doing. Thanks to Francesca. I hope it's beautiful. Thanks. Or simply with a smartphone, just click on the site mumamilazzo.com. the contribution made possible to create a wide range of interactive content, including touchscreen totems, a digital museum guide, multimedia adaptation to make the content accessible to people with visual and hearing disabilities, interactive educational games, virtual reality experience, and multimedia art installation. Through the most modern technology, such as the virtual reality and the augmented reality, is possible to bring the sperm whale Siso back to life. The project was awarded the prestigious EU4Ocean Prize by the European Commission's DG Mare on European Maritime Day. The second part of the museum is a spiritual journey of purification through 3 rooms. The hell with the plastic, you can walk in a beach with the plastic. The purgatory, where we teach so many children. And the heaven, where we find a screen that is an art installation by Giuseppe La Spada that turns you into a water drops. And if in mathematics 1 + 1 make 2, 1 drop plus 1 drop does not make 2, but makes a single drop bigger. For this reason, we make all the children united in front of the screen to make them understand that if they make 1 big drop, 1 big force can protect our sea. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Carmelo.
Thank
you so much. Now, another moment, and Lorenzo will help us to announce the second prize, the second winner. Lorenzo, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm pleased to announce the second prize of the Shanghai High School International Division in Shanghai, called Seaweed Aquaculture, and I want to present Ling Xin, called for a friend Vicky from Shanghai, and so well done, guys, and my compliments to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Vicky from Shanghai High School International Division. When we first got our topic, Unlock Ocean-Based Solutions to Climate Change, we had difficulties relating climate change to the ocean. Although we knew climate change has devastating impacts on the ocean, such as sea level rising or ocean acidification, we could not come up with a feasible ocean-based solution that can specifically target the cause of climate change. Throughout the Sea Beyond event, our mentor gave us more lectures about climate change and the ocean, offering us more possible ideas. My team and I also did individual research to learn more about this topic. We believe that we can only come up with the best solution by gaining more knowledge ourselves. So some reasons why we settled upon our final solution, seaweed aquaculture, over other possible solutions that we brainstormed are, first, it is feasible and practical to carry out. Currently, we already see the solution being implemented in some countries such as Tanzania, Sweden, Chile, and the United States. Second of all, it is proven to be effective. BBC reported that seaweed could sequester nearly 200 million tons of carbon dioxide every year. Last but not least, we noticed that people lack the awareness for this method in the status quo. Very few people actually know the potential benefits of seaweed. Through our campaign, we hope to educate more children, teenagers, and adults about this natural method of targeting climate change and actually carry out some practical actions to combat climate change. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky, so much.
Would you like to say something? I think it's the teacher here. Would you like to tell us something?
Oh, yeah. So Vicky has shared pretty much about our project, and it is actually our second year participating in the Sea Beyond project. And I would take this opportunity to thank both UNESCO and Prada very much. Our students, they really learn a lot through these lectures, and they have the chance to actually delve deeper in the part of climate change, which is both, I would say, fun and also challenging. And we've actually debated about the final topic of our proposal, and I'm so proud of their final outcome. And thank you again.
I want to thank you for your effort also because it's the second time you participate to the project, and so you managed to almost reach the top. So I'm sure next year maybe it's going to be you're here. So thank you again, and so good luck for the next year.
Thank you so much, girls. And we know, I don't know if it's in the morning or very late for you, but it's also an effort to be here with us. Thank you so much. And now I would like to kindly ask for you three to free the stage because another moment is arriving. I asked them to go down because I have other people to invite to come here, and they will explain why. So I invite here Paula Martins and her students to join me here to announce the winner of the second Sea Beyond edition. Should I sit? Pode sentar. So, Paula, but before giving the prize, tell them why you were here. Yes, sure.
Good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be here with you today because we were invited to be present in this ceremony because we were awarded last year as the first prize in the first edition of this UNESCO Prada competition. I would like to introduce you the students who were part of the team, Mariana, Iris, and Leonor. They did a great job. It was almost the school year, 3-4 months intense work to reach to the final product, which was a very nice video that they produced. And so it's a great pleasure to be here and hand over the prize to the next winner. Should I announce the winner or? So I have the pleasure to announce the second edition winner of this Sea Beyond project, Newton College in Lima, with the Ma Art Peru final product.
We are now connecting to some students in Peru, but we also have some of them here with his teacher. Daniel, please. We can just stay all together.
Hello, we are the Mars Project, and we are here to present to you what we have been doing this last couple of months. We realized that our best course of action would be to raise awareness and to make donations. Thanks to the acclaimed and accomplished Peruvian artists that gladly donated their pieces, we were capable of creating an art exhibition on the 11th of May in our own campus. Absolutely everything was donated to an organization called GRAM that rescues and aids stranding beach animals in Trujillo. Several students, teachers, and volunteers from our school gathered together to clean the beach of Barranquito. Also, for those who participated, free surf classes were offered. This had the purpose of helping volunteers establish a new connection with the sea and allow them to visualize why there's this need to protect it. At the end of this journey, we learned a lot about marine and coastal ecosystems, and we are thankful to see beyond for that.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Prada Group. Thank you, UNESCO, for this fantastic project. The Sea Beyond program really involved so many students around the world and so many schools. Thank you to Newton College, everyone there that was such a supportive community for us, and of course, all of our wonderful families that were behind us all the way. As an educator, I can tell you in the world of education, we talk constantly. The biggest buzzword in education today is student agency, which is giving voice, choice, and ownership to our students. Unfortunately, though, I can tell you in most schools, as well as my own teaching sometimes, we like to keep those levels within our comfort zones. We don't like to step too far beyond our school classrooms, but really student agency, when given over to the youth who are completely capable of doing these things, it's absolutely incredible. And Sea Beyond was that push for me out of my comfort zone to really give over student agency to our students. It also pushed us as a school beyond what we knew, we thought was possible, and now we have a new definition of possible and a new definition of student agency. So I'm not going to speak much more because the real champions of this project are here behind me, and I would just like to say thank you everyone for being involved. If you are a teacher, step outside your classroom, step outside your comfort zone, see what's possible by our youth, because they're really amazing, and like Kirsten said earlier, they're not just the future, they're the here and they're the now, they're the present, and they're making changes already. So thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Isabela Carranza Mujica, and along with Enzo, we're the representatives of Newton College team for Sea Beyond. We would like to start by telling you a bit about ourselves and our project. I'm 17 years old and studying in the second year of the International Baccalaureate. And when I first heard about this project, I was beyond excited. As my friends and peers certainly know, I am a very competitive person, and I knew that Sea Beyond was going to be a challenge that I was willing to undertake. Nevertheless, as weeks went by and we started learning more and more about the ocean and the damage it has been going through, the project became less about winning and more about actually doing something to protect and preserve it. The first event we developed, as seen on the video before, was an art auction we named Mart, which is Mar and Art. The idea surged because we wanted to promote Peruvian art and knew that the love that our people had for the ocean would persuade them to collaborate with us and with our cause. Thanks to the contacts that our school had and the marvels of social media, we managed to get 20 partially or fully donated pieces to us. After months of coordination with school authorities, catering companies, and NGOs, we had everything ready for our clients to find great art and also help a great cause. The night of May 11th, we hosted Newton College's first ever Peruvian art auction in our own campus. We had the honor to have guest speakers from the NGOs we were working with. We had almost 100 attendees, and I can certainly say that it was an amazing success, since we earned over 7,000 soles. Nevertheless, the team understood that high-end art was not for everyone, and therefore, we also organized a beach cleanup activity the day after that. We rounded up over 60 people and collected 54 bags of trash in the Barranquito beach. The Surf Academy, TSA, kindly donated 2 classes of surf for the people who attended. All of these efforts would not have been possible without the help of spectacular people committed to the cause. So we would like to thank UNESCO and Prada for creating such a significant initiative that promoted sustainability and awareness in the entire world. Also to the staff of our school for all of their help and support with the organization and advertising of our events. To our parents, families, and friends who supported us through these arduous processes. I would really like to thank my dad, Mariano. He has a special passion for art and helped me craft the art collection, arrange the catalog, send the invites, and a million other things that made our auction successful. So, gracias, pa. Thanks to the artists, Eduardo Tokeshi, José Gómez, Patricia Orbegoso, Rafael Lanfranco, José Cortés, Lenin Vázquez, Mariela Camborda, Alberto Flores, Daniel Vargas, and Ricardo Vice. We are proud to call you our fellow Peruvians. Thanks to the NGOs that allowed us to help them, SOA and Conservación, who made such an effort also to help with all of our projects. I also want to thank each member of our team. So Enzo, and in Peru we have Anika, Alessandra, Abril, Sol, Esteban, Camila, Vania, and Rafaela. Your hard work was what brought us here. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Daniel, standing right there. He's the man who coordinated everything, but also encouraged us to be independent and helped us win this competition. So thank you.
Furthermore, I would like to thank my girlfriend and friends who supported me throughout this entire process. I really couldn't have done it without you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. But I would also like to dedicate a special thanks to my parents, who taught me the value of dedication and made all of this possible. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much. I'll be honest, when we first won the contest, I didn't fully believe it. Even though I agree with everything that Isabella said, to a certain extent, it seemed wrong. It seemed weird to receive something so extraordinary because I didn't feel extraordinary. I didn't feel deserving. But after a while of thinking, I realized something. Normal people and extraordinary people aren't so different. The difference lies that extraordinary people are purpose-oriented. To be purpose-oriented is to do things with a goal bigger than a materialistic reward. To be extraordinary is to strive for greatness, because greatness comes from how well you affect those around you. And to do something great, you need purpose. Because you can't grow a forest overnight. You need a reason to do it. You need to start slowly planting your seeds, and it will take a while. And you will fall. But as my father taught me, we fall to learn to stand up. So I like to think of projects like children, understanding the time, love, and patience that is needed for them to grow. And as parents often find out with children, you learn as much from your child as your child learns from you. To not only love the project, but to grow as you do it is what success is. Not all successful people are great. But all great people are successful because they strive for that which matters. So when the judges say that all participants in this project, not only on this edition, but the previous edition, are winners, they mean it. All of you are successful because you led purpose-oriented actions. And I'm sure you loved your projects as much as we love ours. And there's a message I want to leave you all with. Strive for greatness, for good. And if you find a purpose in the things you're doing, the world will be a small place for you. Thank you very much.
Wow, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say anything, but I would like to invite here Paula and you three to come here and all together to give the prize to them.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Let's hope we have here in this room the future Jacques Cousteau and Sylvia Hurl's followers.
Oh!
Their thoughts and their beliefs, that it is so important that this young generation can start thinking about it, because we are handing over the problem to them, unfortunately. And so with our guidance, with our inspiration, perhaps they can get also what we think, what we have to do, what we need to do to save the planet in these last 10 years that we have to save it. So it's with a great pleasure that the students hand the prize to you, and let's hope that they will keep on the good work, because teachers are guides and they have to do what we tell them to do, but with their own critical thinking, and learn them to be autonomous and brave young people. Okay, so can you please hand the prize to the new winner?
Non ci avevo pensato. We were also moved that we didn't realize she was without the mic. Oh, I hope you have heard her. Take it.
I think that I speak a little bit.
Yeah, but if you want.
Should I repeat what I have just said?
Just say what you want to say.
Just to summarize, I hope that we have here in this room the future Jacques Cousteau and Sylvia Earle's followers, and that they can go out now, out of the school, in their families, in their communities, with their friends, and just promote the ocean. Talk about the importance of protecting the ocean and protecting sea life, because it's their future. It's in their hands, and that it's at stake if they don't do anything, and we don't tell them to act now.
And we clap the hands again. Guys, well done. Thank you so much. I don't know, you can stay at the stage, you can go down. We're now going to the questions. Maybe there will be questions for you as well. I think you could sit here. Just sit, just stay. I'll give you the mic just in case. Whew. So now we have arrived at the moment of the real exchange with all our audience. Students, teachers, journalists, and our wider public. But we'll start taking questions from the room, from you here. And then we'll take questions from the web. Is there any question? Someone that wants to ask a question for the teacher, the students, the jury members, someone who is here? Haha, breaking the ice. There's one question. Maybe the mic? Is there another mic for her? Or if you want to come here? Or you prefer there?
I'll just talk very loud.
It's good that we can register because of the people who are following us through the internet. Perfect.
Very, very impressive and very inspiring, both the students, especially the students. So thank you for your presentations and for your thank you. I am just curious, I guess, what was the biggest challenge you guys felt you faced as you were putting together the project?
Okay, so thank you for your question. I think that our biggest challenge was convincing the school, because Peru still has a lot of COVID protocols and requirements. So this was actually the first event that the school held after the pandemic. So the headmaster and other important people were very worried about the kind of restrictions that we would have, and also the coordination of everything, because we had quite expensive pieces of art. But at the end, I think that they trusted us, which was amazing, which was very surprising also. And we had also Mr. Daniel and my dad and other responsible adults who were in charge of like the grown-up stuff. But at the end, I think we managed to have a great project with a great outcome.
Yeah, I mean, just further adding to what Isabel said, I'd say the biggest challenge was really like changing the status quo, right? Because when you have a project that is fully led by students, it is hard to convince people to participate. So one of the things Mr. Daniel likes to joke about when he talks about the project is that we were doing everything, right? So like we had to talk to the administration. He would just give us the email of administration, and we'd have to go to talk to them, right? And what this led is when you're, for example, school administration, right? And you're being told by 15 and 17-year-old that we need to do this, we need to bring thousands of dollars of art into the school for this project. It is hard to convince. So it was really about stepping up as people and really proving, not only to the school, but I'd say to everyone around us that as kids, we can do this, which was hard. And it took a lot of convincing and it took a lot of fighting. But in the end, I'm proud of what we achieved. And I believe it is a lot of the perseverance from the entire team, really. So, yeah.
Any other question from you here? Curiosity, comment? Since we have here all of them, we have here our inspiring jury members. There's one other question from here, the mic. Maybe I can just pass this one. Yeah, please.
I'm wondering, I mean, you seem to be so adult. Honestly, I would love to know how old you are, but my main question is, did you ever had problems that people didn't take you serious because you are so young?
So thank you for your question. I'm 17 and Enzo is 15, so yeah, we're pretty young, especially like being here as well. But I think that wasn't really the case, because I think at least the people who were participating in this project really knew a lot about the authorities, and we were in constant contact with them, so they know and they trusted us and our gut and our experience. Because at Newton, we really focus on projects, big ones sometimes, and we have that kind of experience. So when we came to Monica Puyol, which is the administrator of our school, and told her about this project, at first she was a little bit skeptical because it was huge and it has never been done before, especially, well, with really renowned artists. I think she was a bit worried, but we had our plan, a clear focus, the help we needed with Mr. Daniel and with everyone else who also helped us. And I think that they trusted us enough to let us do this project.
Yeah, I mean, it really is what Isabel said. It's obviously there was this preposition, right? Because, again, we are challenging the status quo, right? You don't see a lot of student-led projects that, are so big. But in terms of challenges, I don't think we were ever challenged, like, in our capability to do things. I'd say the school was definitely more worried, as Isabel said, so the school had a lot of questions of, like, how are you going to do this, and how are you assuring to us that you can do this? And, again, it was fighting, and it was like, we have this prepared, this is our preparation. And the school listened to us, right, and definitely after a while and after really understanding we were capable, pushed us as much as possible to do this project. So we're talking with the arts department was really pushing us. Monica Puyol and all of the administration was also really motivating us to keep doing it. So again, there were worries, but I don't think we were ever at one point challenged or denied something because we were children.
Francesca.
Well, congrats from my side as well. I was kind of moved and still are to see, the wonderful job that you've been able to do. And it was really a pleasure to accompany you throughout this journey. And my question is, do you have any advice for us on how to engage you and the youth better?
Absolutely. I think the advice would be to actually trust the students and actually I think a lot of the programs I can say that I've seen over the years as an educator have been very much have students do A, B, C, D, E in this order, this way, and present a project. Here's the example of what the project should look like, and so the students have to kind of find themselves just copying something else. And I think See Beyond has shifted that paradigm a bit and said, well, you create what you want based on the experience you have learning about it. And so we have to move away from education being about knowledge and actually being more about the understanding, the passion, the attitudes, the skills that we develop. And so I think the biggest advice is to look at that, like moving away from this content-driven educational style and really saying, the youth are able to do these things, they're capable of it. Sometimes as educators, we really need to step out of the way and see ourselves more as mentors. I think someday the role of teacher will actually be the role of mentor in schools, because that's truly what it is that we need to be doing. Do you guys want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, it really is about trusting, right? Because kids really like trying stuff out, right? Like, we genuinely really we are competitive, we are passionate, right? So trust us, right? Give us power to not only succeed, but power to fail. Because, again, it's what I said before, we need to fall to learn to stand up. So the only way we'll truly find action that matters is we're giving the power to try actions and fail and stand up and try again. And this, in the long term, are several trials that we find things that matter and that push the world forward.
I just have to say that I agree with everything Enzo just said. I have to be very thankful with the school because they let us be free and make our own decisions, our own coordination. So I think that was what made our project so special, because we made most of it, like almost every part of it. So yes, as Enzo said, if we have the power to succeed and to fail, then we have the power to succeed. So we will succeed.
Kerstin, go on.
I just want to congratulate you, all of you, like the teachers, the school, and you students, and also not just for the amazing project, but also for you guys here, your voices. I mean, you can see how everybody is completely moved and inspired with your words, and I just want to please ask you to keep nurturing that leadership potential. Please keep on pushing forward. Because yeah, the world needs people like you that are capable, that have energy, and that have those creative ideas and that want to move forward. Beyond that, that comes to my question. What's your next plan? What do you want to do after this? Do you have any ideas?
Well, with regards to the prize money, we have a few options, but no official ones. But we have been planning to continue the same auction throughout the years, because the artists now know that they can trust us. Last time they were like, okay, I'll give you my stuff, but please be careful. But now they know that we're trustworthy and that it's for a very good cause. So I think that I'm leaving school this year, but maybe Enzo and Mr. Daniel and everyone who is actually staying to continue this auction and to continue helping SOA. Also, the school is now an official SOA partner, meaning that we're constantly helping them and including them in our fundraisers. So yes, that's our future plans.
I mean, it really is what you said. It's like we've come so far that it truly be like a shame for us to let it go. So it's we have several plans, and we're really still deciding like which ones are we gonna really push through. But so far, again, the art auction, because Peru, I'm not Peruvian, but Peru is absolutely gifted with amazing artists and a beautiful connection to the ocean, so it'd be amazing for us to keep pushing that. We also want to establish an official ocean literacy club at our school to push more actions like this and more student-led actions. We've also been discussing beach cleanups, right? Because we had a lot of teachers as well that were really motivated with like the beach cleanup we did. So pushing that in the future, it really is just several actions. I could talk about hours, like all the ambitions we have, but it really is just trying to push ocean literacy and giving more power to the students in the school to know they can try.
There's another question. Yeah?
First of all, I just want to thank you, your whole group. It is an amazing project that you did, and it's just beautiful and impressive to see. As a fellow classroom teacher, I appreciate what you've said as well. It really is about letting the kids do and lead the way. And my question is a little bit of a follow-up on the question that was just asked, and I'm wondering, have you seen or do you hope to see in the future what's the impact on your greater school community outside of the students that were involved in the project directly, on your family and friends, the community? Where do you hope to see that? Like, do you have a vision for what that's going to be? Have you seen some immediate impacts from your project already? So thank you.
Yes, I'll speak quickly about, from a school leadership side, we're looking at asking ourselves, where does this all fit in the greater picture so that it doesn't become a one-off event or only reliant on the small group of students that were involved? And one of the biggest questions we have is how do we actually get ocean literacy into our curriculum so that it gets taught as a normal part of our school life, and then also looking at getting it a part of, we're working right now on developing these pledges which will increase sustainability on our campus, and that means policies around the campus, but also a shift in our culture. So we're really looking at making it a part of who we are as a school. It's something that I think the pandemic shook up for us. Going online, a lot of projects were halted, and coming back to campus, we're very much dedicated to bringing back what we call our ESD program, Education for Sustainable Development, and certainly this fits into that. I'd like to hear from the students, though. How have you seen the impact, again, with the students, with the families, your perspective on that?
I mean, for me, it really is about more setting a precedent, right? So again, it's what I said before, but it's like we told the school we can do this. So that's why one of the reasons we're so grateful for being like the first presidential student-led event in the school, because like it being so successful means that the school is going to try more student projects throughout this year and throughout the following years. So for me, the main impact was really setting a precedent, because now teachers are excited. So they talk to us like, what are your next plans, you know? So we're going to Portugal, right? And we're telling them we're going to Portugal. And they were like, when are you going to Portugal? What speeches are you doing, right? Because they wanted to know more, and it really is this. It's more than factual information of like the school's doing this, this, and this. I think what matters more is the school's feeling. The schools wants to push more students to keep doing this because they saw value in what we did. And I think this is much more important because it's much more long-lasting.
Also, like referring to like the children and the teenagers that are like went to our auction as well. We had speakers, guest speakers from the NGOs and also scientists. So we all had a chance to hear and learn more about the ocean, especially the Peruvian ocean, and how it's being impacted by oil spills, for example, or illegal fishing or other factors that contribute to its decline. So I think that at least my friends, they all left, and they were like really impacted by what had been said and how much they'd learned, because they went like to support me and to help me if I needed anything. And at the end, they went home with this idea of helping the ocean and making it a better place.
Vladimir. We are lucky because Vladimir could stay and he wants to make a question. Go on.
I promise I will return the mic. We are participating in a historic conference on the ocean. And there were many, many talks. And, I think never I was inspired like this. I think we will have to invite you to UNESCO to speak to United Nations, to member states, and make sure that your wisdom is, really emotional.
Yeah.
Wisdom feeds the thinking of member states, keeps the world a peaceful place, and save the ocean. So something will happen. Thank you.
I think we have another question. From? Go on.
I got it. First, congrats for what you guys are doing, and I have just a follow-up question to what we just said. It's true that today we spoke about how much power you have, how you will be changed, and how you will drive change. But we also need to say that you still need 10 to 15 years to have the real power to change the things that the grown-ups are doing right now. So saying this, because we spoke about how important you guys are, but today, who's the leader today is really who we have to work on and convince right now, as we just said. What is your message to the grown-ups?
Thank you. So before I answer your question, I just want to say that with regards to what Mr. Vladimir said, we are massive UN nerds, and Sostai is a logo from the UN. We are actually both members of the MUN club, so Model United Nations. So we're thrilled to be here. My friends have been asking me about speeches and about questions and everything, so it's really our honor to be here answering your questions and sharing what our project was about. And I think that our message is that although we still have 10 to 15 years, as was later mentioned, I think that we have some sort of power right now. We have the luck to be here standing in front of all of you, so I think that it's important that we use this space and this platform to share the message that we need to save the ocean, because if we want to be living a great life like the ones you guys lived 10 to 15 years ago and enjoyed the ocean and enjoyed the world as we know it, then we have to take action and do whatever is possible within our places to save the ocean and to save the world.
Yeah. I mean, also adding a bit to that, there's a phrase in Latin, which I really like, which is sic parvis magna, which means greatness from small beginnings. It has various interpretations, but the interpretation I take is everything that's great starts small. So it really may not seem like it, but everything you do that stands out from the status quo is a change. And this rip curls into something bigger than what you may think it is. Because this is what it was for us. It's like, it's easy to look at it now and be like, oh my God, an art gallery, right? But it wasn't like that for us. It was, let's send an email. Let's send a WhatsApp message. Let's do a Canva design. Let's send a letter, right? And these small actions rip curled into something bigger than any of us could have imagined. So it really is, everything that's great starts small. So every action you do matters. So again, it's the famous quote, you miss every shot you don't take. So my message is, try things, even if they're small, because they matter. And when you do them repeatedly, you create this rip curl effect into something that will be bigger than you and everyone around you can imagine.
Any other question? Yes, there's one question from the web. It is directed to Hugo. So, Hugo, how can the kids of the world aim to reach the highest of the... Sorry, just one moment. I need it. So how can the kids of the world aim to reach the heights of the world? And how do you then deal with the lows of the worst wipeouts and overcome difficult times? Yeah.
Patricia, before I answer to your question, I think I will see you guys here like in the future as ministers and prime ministers and presidents of your country. And the future is in good hands. It's impressive, your solid commitment, and it's a massive message of hope that you are providing to all of us and to everyone that's like listening to us. So I compare like what they are doing now as riding a wave, a huge wave successfully. These young generations, they are like living the present moment. They are totally connected with the ocean. They are like they are part of the ocean. So I think they will reach the high levels of success and happiness and achievements in their lives with this connection, with this powerful connection with the ocean that they are like showing us now. That this is just beautiful and like unique to watch. I'm really overwhelmed and so happy. Yeah, this is the perfect moment because I compare that the moment that we are going through, environmentally speaking, and about the oceans, we are in a wipeout. We are like in the moment when the surfer falls out of a board and we got like a 20-meter wave on top of our heads. I can tell you it's a dark ride. The ocean is so powerful, you can open your eyes underwater. Everything is dark, you don't know where to go, you don't know if you are going up, down. And you really realize how small we are compared to the power of the ocean. But it's good to feel small, because when we feel small, we can grow as humans, we can move further, we can achieve bigger things. So the only way that I find to survive when I'm in a wipeout is with the power of the mind and with the power of the teamwork, most of all. We need to work as a team worldwide, like these young students are doing. And with the power of the mind, with the power of the will, we'll reach the surface and we'll be able to breathe fresh air again and to survive in the end. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hugo. And now it's time to finish with our Q&A sessions, because we are almost closing the event. So we would like to thank everybody, each one of you who is here with us, and those who are following us through the internet. Also to thank our speakers, our jurors, the hosts, but most of all, the schools, all the schools that had participated at Sea Beyond, the students and the teachers who have worked so hard in such challenging times to make all this possible. And we want to remember you that the students, particularly, that you are incredible warriors, incredible winners, all of you. Because you never gave up. They did such a hard work. And life is a spiral in which we win and we lose. Different things all the time. And sometimes a no can give us more energy to go on. And we invite you all to go on, to believe that you can change the world in spite of any result. Because there's always another wave to surf, another sea to navigate. And that's all experience. You just need to see beyond. Thank you so much. To close the event and greet you all, I would like to show a word cloud with all the contributions of the students who shared their inspirational words to commit to one of the 10 Ocean Decade challenges. So please keep an eye on pradagroup.com and oceanliteracy.unesco.org to learn more about the project and to be inspired by our ocean. Thank you all, and remember that we are all ocean. Yeah.